Welcome to the One of a Kind Financial Show Daily with your host, Mike Milligan. Did I sound like a disc jockey there? Maybe not. Maybe I'll try to harness the power of Dick Clark next. But we're going to continue our talk of this retirement mixtape. We're going to continue talking about how Jimmy Buffett, John Denver, Bob Seger, even Simon and Garfunkel provided catchy tunes that when that music plays in your ear makes retirement oh so much sweeter. Enjoy this conversation Gary and I had on the One of a Kind Financial Show.
We're going to continue along with some of these songs. These are great songs, and how it relates to your retirement planning. Here's one of my favorites, Jimmy Buffett. It's 5 o'clock somewhere with Alan Jackson.
Oh yeah, this playful line reminds retirees to embrace flexibility. Maybe that Tuesday morning golf game or Wednesday matinee is something that you've always wanted to do, but you've never really been able to because you've been tied or strapped down to a desk. Retirement is freedom from rigid schedules. So we help retirees, like when they build these strategies, to create spending plans, right, that support spontaneity and joyful living. That may mean that, like for a client we have down in Fort Lauderdale, they have a group called the Sunrise Spurts, where a couple days a week they all get together to just, and at different places, by the way. It's like a text the night before, we're going to get together here, right? And it could be for breakfast, it could be to play pickleball, it could be to study the Bible together. There's all kind of reasons they get together, but it's just like the spontaneity that keeps you mentally engaged in community and retirement. And it's 5 o'clock somewhere. It's all about a community of people who get together, and that thing, drink a little alcohol. But in retirement, it's about it's about you having, you having enough room in your schedule to be spontaneous.
Let's move on to a classic. This one's from a long time ago, but I remember this song. Simon and Garfunkel, the 59th Street Bridge song, Feeling Groovy.
Well, slow down. You move too fast. You got to make that morning last. Oh my gosh, that's some good lyric right there. This tune champions mindful living, and retirees are uniquely positioned to live it out. But slowing down isn't easy after decades of urgency. Imagine like having a life of deadlines. I mean, I see you out there listening to this show, right? Because I've talked to you when you called in. The business owner who's hustling to fulfill a client order left and right, the CPA who's up against a tax filing deadline, right? The bank employee who's at the whims of their manager whenever they want to put a meeting in place, right? The facility manager who is on call no matter if it's 11 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the morning. See, that's your work life. But when you get to retirement, right, it totally changes. You're in a unique position to where you can literally slow down. And the only person you're on call to is the whims of what vision you have built for your retirement. And that's why like putting a one-of-a-kind financial plan in place allows you to be spontaneous and uniquely positioned to live life out to its fullest.
The show is the One-of-a-Kind Financial Show. I'm Gary Nolan, your consumer advocate. With us each week at this time is Mike Milligan. 800-748-1838, 800-748-1838, or text the word IDEAS to 600-700. The phone number again is 800-748-1838. The folks at One Oak Financial standing by this weekend during the holiday season. Here's another great song. It's a little bit different lyric with this one, but it's interesting nevertheless. Bob Seger, Against the Wind.
Every time I hear this song, I think about Forrest Gump, right? Remember?
Oh, yes, of course.
Forrest Gump? Yeah, this is the song. This song that's being played where he's doing that long run, and he's talking, and Tom Hanks is talking over the long time.
Yes.
But this song captures the reality that retirement isn't all sunshine. Health issues, caregiving, and inflation can hit hard. That lyric, wish I didn't know now what I didn't know then, is real. And, that's why we have to build buffers into retirement. We talk about financial buffers or guardrails, things that maybe some upside protection through diversification, but downside where it doesn't go down, where you actually don't lose money. But retirement plans have this headwinds that we just have to control to make sure that we're going to be okay.
Absolutely. Here's another one. Another classic. John Denver, Take Me Home, Country Roads. Nostalgia, huh?
Oh my gosh. When you hear that song, like those little first words, you know this song's playing, right? It's just like, there's no doubt. The first 3 seconds of that, you know this song. Nostalgia plays a big role in retirement. Many retirees want to return, not just to places, but to values, family, and faith when they get there. They have more time to do this. I've seen clients that have built tremendous legacies in retirement because they have the time to do it. They move closer to the grandkids. They want to spend time to become more family people than they ever were in their working years. And so, like, if you embrace this whole idea of take me home, country roads, and retirement, it's going to be more about family, and there's going to be a lot of fulfillment in that.
Yeah, absolutely. Got one more. Jimmy Buffett again. A pirate looks at 40.
It's like people are. It's like our writers today looked at my playlist for this, Gary, because this is like my go-to song. Because there's a line in this song that just embraces like being one of a kind. And you know, the line is when Jimmy Buffett says, "Yes, I'm a pirate 200 years too late." I mean,
Yes.
when he wrote this back in the 1970s, right? And he had the sea in his veins, right? But pirates had their heyday back in the 1700s, not the 1970s.
No.
And so it reminds us that regret is part of the journey. We cannot pick when we're born. We can't even really pick where we're born, but we can pick how we live and where we live. And so retirees have this permission, both emotionally and financially, when you have a true financial plan in place, to forgive yourself for the past and move forward with what brings real purpose.
All right, Mike, we're up against the clock. Final thoughts as we wrap up this segment. We got more music on the way, by the way.
I cannot wait to share even more music in the next segment, but for this one, guys, over the last 2 segments, we've built a retirement playlist for life. It's custom. And see, the thing about it is our 10 songs don't have to be your 10 songs. But I'm telling you, you have to address the things that everybody fears most in retirement. Taxes, the running out of money, making sure you have retirement income, investments you can't control, right? But if you have a plan, you can. Long-term health care, we don't know when it's going to hit us. But boy, if we plan for it, we're more prepared for it. And legacy. Not leaving a mess for your family. See, the one-of-a-kind financial plan will bring peace to what you're doing financially. And so whether your playlist is a rock playlist with Jimi Hendrix and Pearl Jam on it, or a Christian playlist with like Carmen and Mercy Me on it, or if it's a country playlist with Garth Brooks and the Dixie Chicks. See, we want you to live a one-of-a-kind life. And in order to do that, we have to do the basics of the one-of-a-kind financial plan first. And then build that playlist and live freely for the rest of your years.
This is your chance to benefit from the one-of-a-kind financial playlist that Mike was talking about, the one-of-a-kind financial plan. Call right now. We still have a limited number of availabilities on our calendar this week. And remember, the consultation is offered at no cost or no obligation. That phone number is 800-748-1838, 800-748-1838, or text the word IDEAS to 600-700.
Thank you for listening to today's episode of the One of a Kind Financial Show Daily. Gary and I had so much fun talking music, as Gary is a former radio disc jockey from stations around the country. And every time we talk about music, he lights up. But I love music too. I wanted to leave you with one reminder, and that Mike Milligan is a investment advisory rep with Advisory Alpha LLC. All opinions expressed by Mike and Gary on the One of a Kind Financial Show are their opinions. This is for educational content only. Any reference to One Oak Financial, which is owned by Ideas by Mike, just remember that those 2 entities are unaffiliated from Advisory Alpha.